طيب in our previous class we have been we did the exponential function and we had an example and application. We did the application for the exponential function. In particular, we took the interest. We knew two types of the interest: the simple interest, which is I بتساوي P principal في الريت في time T. Okay, and this will give us in the interest اللي هو الربح. But if we want to know the future value that after this interest, what is the new amount, then just you're going to add your principal, which is the amount at the beginning, add to it طبعا الانترست الربح كم. Okay, so this plus this بدينا future value. Okay, طبعا لو كان loss بدل interest كان حيكون P minus الفاليو اللي here. Okay, اللي هو لو كان في discount برضو نفس الحكاية البرايس في الريت. اوكي كان حيديني الكمية بتاعت الديسكاونت كم. اوكي anyway لو كان discount then the amount at the beginning minus the discount. صح؟ So I will have the new price. Okay, so anyway this is the simple interest. Okay, the other one اللي هو سميناه compound interest, and we said we can find the compound interest by the formula الجنرال formula اللي هي A. اوكي اللي هي future value. اوكي بتساوي principal multiplied by 1 plus R over N في N over T, and this is always valid لو كانت N just yearly يعني معناها واحد. اوكي or لو كان عندي N has other values يعني like quarterly, half, every 6 months. So you're going to divide here over 2 لو كانت half of the year, correct? And here times 2. Okay, and لو كانت just yearly لكل السنة طبعا N هتكون 1 هنا N is going to be 1, and then you substitute on the formula to get the future value. Okay, and if it was a continuous أول بدل عندي الانترست اللي هو بدل ما كان simple interest. okay compound interest but compounded مثلا هنا في ال previous example quarterly. لو كان continuously compounded then we are going to use this formula and just substitute فيها and then you will get the values. مهم all this we did it, and then after finishing that we did even the logarithmic function and we knew what do we mean by the logarithm function. Okay, and let's do some examples. Actually log a logarithm to any base a, okay, of x is equal to b. What's the meaning of that? The meaning of this is a to a power b is equal to x, equal to this value. Okay, we call الفاليو حقتي اللي هو لو كان عندي y is equal log x to the base 2. that is طبعا معناها شنو؟ معناها 2 to the power y. it will give me this x. okay, then we call y اللي هو اللوغاريثم. اللوغاريثم is y, and the base 2 we call it the base, and this we call it the argument. the argument اللي هو الvalue inside the logarithm. okay, طيب evaluate the logarithms. طيب from the definition what is this value اللي هو that means 2 to the power 4 is equal to 16, correct? This is the meaning of that. Log 2 to the power 16, okay, is equal to 4. Or if the 4 was missing and we need just log 16 to the base 2, this value, we need this one. So log 16 to the base 2, that means we need the power to which we raise the 2 to have 16, to get 16. So what is the power here? So that is 4. طيب log 100 طبعا since there is a base is not written here, that means to the base 10. يبقى 10 to what power? It will give me 100. Okay, so it is to the power 2. يبقى log 100 is equal to what? To 2. طيب what is this value? ln 1 over e. احنا قلنا ln, what is the meaning of the ln? A logarithm to the base e. Instead of we write it like that, we write it like ln. Okay, so as if we have this is equal to a logarithm to the base e of what? Of 1 over e. طيب this value is equal to what? This is logarithm of e to the power minus 1 will to the base e. Yeah, 1 diamond 1 over 3. Actually, we write it as 3 to the power minus 1. We knew that. صح? We know that. And whatever, أو can 2 over 3. This is, we can write it equal to 3 over 2, but to the power minus 1. So al power minus 1 is just the reciprocal of your number. Okay, يعني لو كان عندي طيب number whatever 4 to the power minus 1, that is this is equal 1 over 4 and etc. طيب يبقى logarithm 1 over e to the base e. This is what? This is the logarithm of e to the power minus 1 al base e. طيب as per the definition, what's the meaning of that? We need, this is محل الx صح? So e to what power? It will give me e to the power minus 1. So clear, the answer should be what? The answer should be minus 1. يبقى this one هتكون بكم? Log e to the power minus 1 to the base e. This is equal to minus 1. Clear? So just we evaluated this. طبعا احنا if we have the calculator, immediately using the calculator we can do that. Okay, يعني مثلا لو كان like inside the quiz, يعني no need to do the calculation and take time if you have the calculator. Okay, you just enter the values, but make sure which base you have. Okay. طيب. Now we will have some properties or rules for the logarithm, the logarithm. طيب. Always log 1 to any base, this is should equal to 0, correct? Actually, what is the meaning of that? This is b to what power? It will give me 1. So we know that any number to the power 0, it will give me the 1. يبقى the answer is a log 1 always, no matter what is the base. يعني log 1 لو كان البيز 2 is equal to 0. لو كان البيز 5 برضو equal to 0. So always a logarithm of 1 to any base is equal to 0. So this is the first rule. The second one, or second property, log b to the base b is equal to what? b, okay, to which power it is equal to b. So this is b to the power 1. يبقى this one here should equal to 1. يبقى always logarithm b to the base b is equal to 1. Okay, now this one, logarithm b to the power x to the base b. What is this? This is actually b, this is base to what power is equal to b to the power x. So يبقى what is the result? Here, what should I put? X. صح؟ يبقى إذن logarithm b أس x to the base b, this is should equal to x. Okay? طيب, and now this one, we know that the power and the logarithms are exponent والlogarithm ولا exponential function والlogarithm are two opposite operations. So we have b to the power or raised to logarithm x to the power to the base b. Okay, so we have the exponent والlogarithm. Exponent of b والlogarithm to the base b. So these are two opposite operations. So as if they will cancel. قلنا زي شنو؟ زي multiplication with divisions, correct? So this the final answer will be equal to x. So b to the power log x to the power base b, this is equal to x because these two operations are opposite each other or inverse of each other. العملية وعكسها. طيب, here there are some examples. Logarithm 1 to the base 5, قلنا always logarithm 1 is 0. Yes, first here. طيب, logarithm 7 to the base 7, okay, because 7 actually it is 7 to what power is equal to 7. يبقى this should be 1, صح؟ يبقى the answer is 1. And actually this is this rule. Ln e to the power 5, that is what? This is the log of e. Okay? E to the power 5. And by the way, also there are two opposite operations, صح؟ اللين اللي هو logarithm to the base e وهنا e to the power 5. So, okay, and I will have the 5. Or as I described here, b to some power is equal to b to the power x. If the answer is x. Okay, so ln e to the power 5 is equal to 5. Now this one, 10 to log this number, the base come, since I didn't write the base here, then the base is 10. So I told you that these are opposite operation. So the answer is x plus 5. Is it clear? Clear? Time. If we want to know how the graph of the logarithmic function look like. Type. Before we had for the exponential function y a to the power x, yes, I have البيز قلنا شنو always is greater than 0. It's a number greater than 0. And then we took two conditions, correct? The first one اللي هو a greater than 1, and we talked about this function. And we find that it is increasing function passing through the point 0, 1, correct? The x-axis is an asymptote, and etc. The other function كنا بنعاين لل a which is greater than 0 but less than 1. That is fractions, صح? Like ال a بتساوي شنو half, 1 over 3, things like that, okay? So in this case, we found that the function is going to be decreasing function, correct? And also passing through the point 0, 1, and x-axis is an asymptote. Yes. Okay, so the same here. For the function a logarithm of x to the base b, okay, we will, this is for every b greater than 0, okay, يعني دائما اللوغاريتم البيز it's a number that is greater than 0, okay. We take two cases. The first case when b is greater than 1, okay. So what function is that? Actually احنا we knew that a logarithmic function يعني لو كان عندي a to the power x, okay, this operation والlogarithm بتاع x مثلا to a base a, these are شنو opposite of each other زي المultiplication والdivision صح؟ طيب يعني أو عندي a function والinverse بتاعها. طيب before, do you remember how the graph of the exponential function look like? Okay, if this is the y-axis, okay, and this is the x-axis, okay. So we find that the graph, an exponential function, the one which increasing, always passing through the point 0, 1, correct? Yani it is something like, yes, okay. This is the exponential function, okay. طيب if we want the inverse قلنا دايما لو عندنا function والinverse حقها هنعمل شنو؟ we draw a line. Which line we draw? A line y is equal to x, okay, which will act like a mirror, correct? طبعا الرسمة ما okay, but you can see, correct? If this is my point الانفيرس في الفانكشن اللي هي this is the other point صح؟ اللاين x y بتساوي x, this line is just like a mirror وبعدين بيكون عندي this is the graph الرeflection بتاعه is this one. So this is the inverse of my function الoriginal function اللي هي كانت this one اللي هي كانت exponential function, okay, y is equal to 2 to the power مثلا x. Okay, clear? So anyway, now let's just look at our graph and we know how to plot a graph. عارفين كيف بنقدر نرسم any graph, correct? طيب. In particular, if we want to draw my graph, this one, اللي هو log x to the base 2. So you can start by log اللي هو عندك ال x value و then ال y value. Okay, so substitute with some points here and then find the corresponding one. So for instance, if we put x1, then you will find that what is y? Log 1 is always is 0, correct? When you substitute via to function, what is the y? Al y here, log x to the base 2. So, and then you find some values, the point and the corresponding to it. And if you plot, you're going to find this blue line, this one, the blue line here. Okay, let's take that function and try to see behavior of it. So it is passes through the point 1 and 0, and it should, and every logarithmic function should pass through this point. Why? Because we knew that always logarithm 1, okay, to any base, this is equal to 0. Yes, if this is the x value, 1, the y value is 0. So any logarithmic function should pass through the point 1 and 0. Okay, in particular, log x to the base 2. Okay, and then evaluate some other points and then try to sketch. We sketch, so this is our graph. طيب, it is what kind of function? طيب, لما x, this value, this is the y value. طيب, as x increase, what's happening to the y? It is increasing, صح? X increase, the y is increase. So this curve is, it is increasing function. طيب, يبقى في الحالة بتاعت عندنا البيز is a number that is greater than 1. يبقى the function is is increasing function passing through the point 1 and 0. Okay, what is the asymptote? It will never cross the y-axis. So the y-axis is an asymptote for the function. It will never cross this. Okay. طيب يبقى الواي axis is an asymptote. يبقى الحاجة الأولى لما b greater than 1 it is increasing function. align اللي هو الواي axis معادلته شنو؟ x بتساوي 0 is a vertical asymptote. It's passing through the point 1 and 0. طيب moreover we want to know the domain of the function. What is the domain? A domain that is the value that the function we can substitute with in the function that makes the function defined. يعني لو كان في any value I cannot substitute with like ليه؟ لأنه الفانكشن will not be a defined function زي شنو؟ زي مثلا في ال other functions كان لو كانت عندي 3 مثلا over 0 I cannot. This is بتديني شنو؟ The function will not be defined. So never we can never divide over 0. Yes. Also here you will find that for the logarithm always values you know positive greater than 0 because this curve will never cross the x-axis. هل في values here؟ هل the graph here anywhere? No. So that is always the domain of the logarithmic function is what? From 0 and up to infinity. Clear? Okay. So the domain of the logarithmic function is from 0 and up to infinity. طيب what about the range? A range it is the y values. طيب y value الجراف مرسوم من وين؟ This one can goes okay يبقى from minus infinity and going this will can go كده لحد وين؟ لحد infinity. So يبقى from minus infinity لحد infinity. Okay. دائما تاني نقول الرينج okay this is the y values من وين لوين from minus infinity to infinity. اوكي الجراف في الواي صح everywhere في الواي from minus infinity to infinity. اما الدومين that is the allowed value for the x okay or for the function which values you can substitute with from 0 and up to infinity. Only الزيرو حتى ما معانا open from the side of the zero and up to infinity. Okay يبقى for a logarithmic function okay البase it should be a positive value that is either greater than 1. طيب دي الحالة الأولى لما يكون عندنا greater than 1 اللي هو the blue curve. This is the blue curve this one. طيب البلو كيرف يبقى دي في الحالة b greater than 1 الفانكشن is increasing الدومين from 0 to infinity الرينج from minus infinity to infinity a line x equal to 0 is an asymptote والفانكشن passing through 1 and 0. طيب now if the x value is between a 0 1 لاحظ القيم من هنا وهنا. What about the y value؟ لو كانت ال x that I'm going to substitute with here كانت a value between a 0 1 يعني مثلا I need logarithm of let's say half طبعا مثلا to the base 2. Okay this value is between 0 1 هتلقى ال values هنا شنو corresponding value is negative يبقى ال between 0 1 ال values here لو كانت ال x value it is greater than 0 but it is less than 1 هيكون عندنا اللوغاريتم بتاع x okay to any base let's say a هيديني شنو negative values whereas لو كانت ال x greater than 1 okay هيكون عندي شنو هيكون عندي اللوغاريتم بتاع x to any base بما انه this is greater than 1 هيكون ال values you know it's clear. okay, that are greater لو كانت ال x greater than 1 okay الvalues حتكون شنو؟ حتكون positive صح؟ values here. So this one this is حتديني شنو؟ positive values. okay. طيب ده بالنسبة للإكس للارجيومنت جوا القيمة الجوا اللوغاريتم this one. okay. طيب now البيز اللي هو التحت دي. طيب البيز لو كان كسر الفانكشن if you draw it you're going to find that it is like this. So now it's going to be a decreasing function صح؟ لما x here this is the y value then here it is less and etc. So it is a decreasing function. okay, also passes through the point 0 1. Also the y axis is an asymptote للfunction. okay, as x approach infinity the curve will approach 0 but never it approach the y axis but it never cross the y axis. okay, actually sorry as x approach 0 لما x تقترب من الزيرو ال y will approach الانفينيتي will never cross this line. okay, واضح؟ طيب in this case decreasing function also what is the domain؟ الدومين الفاليوز الاكس الجراف مرسوم وين؟ from 0 and up to infinity. طيب what about the range؟ الفانكشن دي go from everywhere here and also everywhere there. So from minus infinity to infinity الرينج. okay. So clear؟ this is ال y axis تبع معادلته x بتساوي 0. is it clear؟
Yes.
طيب now we said دايما يبقى هنا زي we knew that لو كانت عندنا quotient function لو كان عندنا quotient function any function مثلا f of x over g of x to get the domain can I say all the real line? No, we should have شنو g of x not equal to 0. طيب now for the logarithmic function what always احنا we said that the logarithm is defined when at what values for the x from 0 and up to infinity. So the values and inside the logarithm should be greater than 0. هل greater than or equal؟ لا greater than because never your curve will never cross you know ال x بتساوي 0 صح only here. طيب يبقى always اللوغاريتم عندنا always logarithm x to any base a this x should be شنو عشان يكون اللوغاريتم defined this x should be what greater than 0 what inside here should be greater than 0. okay. طيب given f of x بتساوي ln 3 minus x write the domain of the function. طيب عايزين نجيب الدومين. Now we said what this should be what should be greater than 0. okay. يبقى حيكون عندي شنو we want the domain that is the allowed values for x يعطوا قيم ممكن نعوض بها في x. حيكون عندنا 3 minus x greater than 0 that is 3 greater than x or we can read like that x is less than 3. So x less than 3 you can leave it like that or you can write it what are the numbers that is less than 3 from minus infinity and up to 3. And since there is no equality it's open from here. لو كان عندك real line this is the real line this is the 3 you need all the numbers that is less so you move to the left يبقى لحد minus infinity. So you can put substitute هنا بأي number between the minus infinity and the 3. okay, and this function will be defined. يبقى الدومين is this. okay. طيب now we there is نعم.
How did you decide it greater than 0? Based on what? And for the end
طيب إحنا قلنا شنو we found that as per the definition, okay, and it's clear here from your graph, okay, that is the graph always our y value it could never be negative, صح ولا لا؟ ليه؟ طيب okay, let me describe it more. احنا قلنا always the base is a number that is greater than 0, okay, the base اللي هو لما يكون عندي log x to any base b, this base should be a number greater than 0. So anyway, either greater than 1 or between 0 1. This is first of all. Type okay. But what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is the same as b to some power is equal to x. Okay? Type. Can this x be negative? Is there any possibility for that? It cannot, never. Why it can never be negative? Because this is b is positive. And any positive number, take any positive number, 2 to any power, 4, 3, minus 3, whatever, the answer is going to be positive. What is 2 to the power minus 3? Actually, it is 1 over 2 to the power 3, which is equal to 1 over 8. It's going to be positive. So always, we are quite sure, okay, that is x always should be a positive number. Clear? And this will be more clear when you plot. Just try to plot. So البلوت حقك حيطلع شنو؟ What x value you can never find. A function is only defined في positive values of the x. Okay? Clear? واضح؟
Clear. Yeah, clear.
Okay. And it is clear from here because what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this, it is x بتساوي b to some power, to any power. But we know always the exponential function that the base should be a number that is greater than 0. Okay, as either a fraction or a number that is greater than 1. A fraction between 0 1. Or a number that is greater. So in both cases, this quantity is going to be positive. That means this quantity is going to be positive. Okay. طيب ابقى always inside the logarithm and take your calculator. Try to find logarithm to any base of the number minus 2. What will you will find? You will find an error. Okay, just like the square root. Can I find the square root of a negative number? Square root of مثلا minus 4 برضه
No.
هيديك error صح؟ Yeah.
Yes.
Also, if you want to find logarithm to any base here of the number of minus 4, the برضه is going to give you error. It's not defined. This is not defined. Clear?
Clear.
So always the argument inside should be الفاليو حقتها greater than 0. Okay? So 3 minus x greater than 0, and we reach that the values that make this function defined are the values x less than 3. So what is x is less than 3? This is from minus infinity and up to 3.
Yeah. Okay.
طيب now some properties بتاعت اللوغاريتم. طيب log x في y to the base b. This الrules اللي هديك لها, this is the first one. أنه logarithm of x في y to the base b is the same as logarithm x to the base b plus logarithm y to the base b. So المultiplication هتدينا شنو؟ log the first plus log the second. يعني log a times b to the base. طيب خلينا ناخذ names ثانية زي ما هو مسمي عشان لو أخذتها أوكي أو anyway, so this is a logarithm to the base x بتاع ال a plus a logarithm to the base x نفس البيز بتاع ال b. Okay, and if you try some examples by tried some examples بالcalculator, you can take مثلا أعملها log 2 وهنا 10 وهنا to the base مثلا 10. Okay, and you will find that yeah it is equal to log 2 to the base 10 plus log 10 to the base 10. Okay, you can try it as an example. And also the other rule, a logarithm of x over y to a base b. This is the same as logarithm x minus logarithm y. طبعا both to the base b نفس البيز اللي here to the base b. Okay, and lastly logarithm x to any power p to the base b. This is the same as p log x to the base b. Okay, so the exponent, you can take it down. Okay, so this is equal to p log x to the base b. Okay, so this is properties. You have to know them, learn them, البروف ما معك. You have to learn them by heart. Okay, خلاص clear الثلاثة قوانين. Let's apply them in some examples. Okay. عندنا log 9y to the base 3. Okay, لو قال لي simplify this one. Okay. I'll write it as 2 logarithm, addition of 2 logarithm. الرول بتقول شنو؟ نحط الرول قدامنا ونطبق log x في y to the base b. This is equal log the first to the base b plus log the second to the base b. Okay, so احنا عندنا هنا إذا حيكون عندنا log 9y to the base 3 اللي هو حيساوي طبعا اللوج بتاع the first البيس 3 plus اللوج of the second to the base 3. طب الفيرست اللي هو شنو؟ 9 plus log السكند اللي هو y. Correct؟ طيب what is log 9 to the base 3؟ log 9 ال 9 هي عبارة عن البيس ده
So
to the power 2 صح؟ So this is log 3 square والبيس 3 plus log y to the base 3. Okay, this one, خلاص, I'll stop here. I cannot do something else. So 3 to what power is equal to 3 square to the power 2, or using the rule we had it just a few minutes ago, احنا قلنا this one we can take it down, correct? So this is equal to log 3 to the base 3 plus log y to the base 3. And what is this? Log 3 to the base 3. This is equal to 1. So 2 في 1 is 2. Or directly from here, دايما log a number this and this the same. So the answer is the power. Because what is the meaning of this? From the meaning of the logarithmic function. Okay? Or just you have to learn the rule by heart. Okay? يبقى this is the first example. طيب السكند اللي هو B. قال شنو؟ log 100 over t. Okay. طبعا he didn't write here something. معناه البيس كم؟ When we don't write, that is the base is 10. Okay. And this is equal to what؟ نحن عندنا حنستعمل يا قاعدة عندنا اللوغاريتم بتاع x over y to the base b. This is equal to log x طبعا للبيس حقنا اللي هو البي. اوكي minus log the second لما يكون قسمه log a x over y بيساوي log x minus log y. اوكي بتتحول لطرح بتاع اللوجين. طيب to the base b. Okay, now we apply this rule in our example, this example. Okay, so isn't that one, this imply this is equal to what? Is equal to log
2.
100 yeah minus a log of t but to what base يا اما تخليها كده معناها log 10 okay or I'll base 10 like that طيب what is 100 it is log yeah 2 لأن it is 10 to the power 2 والبase 10 minus طبعا دي y sorry this is minus log y and what is this it is this one صح اللي هي 2 minus log y okay uh طيب the third one اللي هو this number C اللي هو عندنا ln a third root it is what is the meaning of the third root it is 1 to the power w to the power 1 over 3 correct what is the meaning of the ln قلنا اللين هي اللوج بس البيز e okay so what is this in any case this is equal to احنا قلنا شنو if دايما الباور بتاع الارجومنت we can take it down so it is 1 over 3 ln w خلاص can I find can I proceed more لا خلاص nothing to do more so this is number C طيب then the second example example number 2 log 5 x to the power 7 على y square root of y so this is equal to a logarithm of 5x to the power 7 كل الارجيومنت كل القسمة inside the argument على y to the power half so actually it is like that لو كانت برا طبعا ما حقدر اوكي يعني احنا القوانين دي كلها to inside اللوج في شنو all that okay as if this is the box inside the log and this is the other one and etc okay so now this one what we have we're going to apply which rule we're going to apply that rule for the division so this is equal to equal to log 5 x to the power 7 minus log y to the power half واحنا ما ضروري نكتب 10 صح he didn't wrote so that means البس then لو كان
Yeah.
في حاجة بتتبسط then we do طيب this is equal now this part what is this part we what rule we can use for this part we can use this one here two
Left.
numbers multiply times each other صح so
Yeah.
this one is equal to log 5 log a plus log b صح log x to the power 7 and then minus log y to the power half and now using the rule for the exponent اللي هي قالت شنو الرول بتاعت الاكسبوننت I didn't wrote it here log
7 log x.
x to any power let's call it p this is equal to b log x okay and don't forget احنا بنتكلم عن كل الارجيومنت الجوا okay طيب so this is the same log 5 plus this one we can write it as 7 log x minus and this one كلها to the power half اللي هي we take the half the half down half log y okay so what is that okay طيب now and we can do the opposite يعني هنا كنا what we're doing we trying to write مثلا log as addition of two logs أو subtraction of two logs correct أو المهم يعني بنفكها okay طيب now here we want to write the whole term as a single logarithm يعني log something okay طيب يبقى again we can use the rules. طيب الاديشن اللوج بتاع A plus اللوج B, this is we can write it as one log بانه log هتبقى شنو this time that صح A في B. Yes, so this one we can apply it now here. So this one is going to be equal to ln okay C multiplied by A square minus B square using that rule. Okay, and then minus ln A plus B. Yes, طيب. And now ln this minus ln that طبعا لازم يكونوا نفس البيز. البيز بهتم يعني ما I cannot apply لو كان واحد مثلا بيز 2 واحد بيز 10 وهكذا. But ln معناها البيز E صح؟ So it's okay. I can apply the rule. We have ln minus ln. So it's going to be division, correct? So it is this one is equal to ln الفيرست اللي هو كان شنو؟ C في A square minus B square, correct? Over what? A plus B. Yes? So this is the argument. يبقى حولتها ل one lane. Okay, if you want to simplify more, yeah, you can look inside the argument. We know that A square minus B square دايما الفرق بين مربعين A square minus B square, this is equal to what? A minus B في A plus B, correct? Yes. So يبقى this one we can factorize it. Okay, so this is equal to ln C في A minus B times A plus B. All that inside the argument على A plus B. Can I take one of these number outside من اللين? طبعا no. اللين just like a box. Okay, it's closed. طيب. So what inside the argument will be inside, will be kept inside. إلا الباور. الباور we can take it لو كان عندنا حاجة لين عرفنا صح x square this is equal to 2 ln x. This is the only thing we can do. But otherwise لو كان في multiplication we change it to addition, subtraction, division. So we can change it to difference of two logs. طيب now like that. So what do we have? We can cancel this one with that one. So it is equal to ln C phi A minus B if we want to simplify this one. Okay, clear steps. So you have to learn rules by heart تحت اللوغاريتمات, and there are few actually. We have 3 of them. The others just it is from the definition of the logarithm الأربعة الأوائل. طيب now sometimes في الكالكوليتر you will find a logarithm مثلا to the base 10. يعني لو عايزة أنا to find log مثلا number 50, okay, to the base 6. Some of the calculators you cannot put any number as okay, or you cannot evaluate for any base, but you can evaluate for the base 10 or for the base E, okay, which is يعني you have the ln. So okay, how we can manage to do that? We have a rule which is log, okay, x to the base A, okay, times log A to the base B. This is equal to log x to the base B. Okay, you can easily memorize it. Think what is here, it is here inside the argument, as if you want them to cancel, and this it's not the thing here man like that. Okay, but at the end you will get log x to the base B. So alternatively, we can write it as log x to the base a, divide both sides over this quantity. So this is equal to log x to the base b over log what? A to the base b. This is base b and this is base b. So for instance, in our previous example, this one, لو كان عندي log 50 to the base 6, okay, I cannot find it مثلا بالcalculator لأنه I cannot find to the base 6, so I can change it. For instance, you can make it log 50 to the base 10 over what? Log this number to the base 10. So this value, الرول بتقول لك, is the same as this value, and try it by the calculator. So بدل ما كان البase 6, we evaluate it to the base 10, log 50 to the base 10, find it, and then divide it over log 6 to this base, which is 10. Okay, so this is the rule. Okay, so here there is an example. Use a calculator to approximate this number or to find that number. Okay, so either you use the ln or the log to the base 10, any one of them. Okay, type. So this one we can write it as log 806 to the base 2 اللي هو هيساوي log 806 to the base 10 over what? البيس هنا كان كم؟ 2 over log 2 to the base 10. Okay, so this value is the same as this value. If you're using the calculator, I can find it like that. Okay, and another example, the same example, you can change it into log to the base in. Okay, okay, so another way of evaluating this one is just we will find ln 806, then over ln what? Ln al 2. Okay, ln البيزل هنا. Okay, and you will find actually this one and the previous one, this صح is equal to this, which is equal to that. ثلاثة فيهم the same quantity. If you want to make sure that your solution is correct, how you do this? How you do that? What is the meaning of this? That means we need the power to which we raise to the 2 to get 806, correct? So we found صح يعني this meaning of this one, the meaning of this one is the same as 2 to what power will give you 806, and we found the power. So what is the power? This is the power. Okay, I want to make sure that my solution is correct. Take it and substitute it to here and evaluate 2 to this power. So 2 to this power. If you got 806, that means your solution is, correct. Okay, بالcalculator. Clear? يعني لو اداني اي number and I cannot evaluate it بالcalculator لانه البيز is not a 10 or e, we can find it by changing to another base. What is the other base? اللي هو هنا كان البيز 10 وهنا كان البيز e. الرول بتقول لي شنو؟ This is the rule. Log x to the base b is the same as log x to the base a over log to this base a. خلاص clear all of us? Any question for now? طيب. Now let b, x and y be real numbers with b greater than 0 and b not equal to 1. طيب اللي هو طبعا always لو كانت عندي exponential function we know that a number is greater than 0 and not equal to 1. طيب in particular عندنا هنا في example he gave me that b of x is equal to b of y. يبقى immediately if there is something like that the same base, yes, then and they this value is equal to this value, so no way إلا إنه يكون شنو the x is equal to the y. So immediately you will put the x بتساوي y. طيب now he asks us to solve this. 27 to the power minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 1 over 9 to the power x. طيب how can I proceed? I don't I have to think هل ممكن ألقى the same base or no. I know that 27 is 3 to some exponent and 9 as well, it is 3 to another exponent. So can I write a 27 in 3? Yes. Actually, what is the 27? 27 is 3 times itself 3 times. So it is 3 cube. So I can write the left hand side as what? As 3 to the power 3, okay, and to the power minus 2x plus 1. يعني time if you want you can put it like that, 3 to the power 3 اللي هو اس minus 2x plus 1. okay. طيب uh, you I believe you had it maybe in the first chapter, I'm not sure. إذا كان عندي a to the power x and the whole to the power y, this is equal to شنو? This is equal a to the power x في y.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now the same. and احنا كل كان عندنا 27. What is the 27? 27 it is just 3 to the power 3. And then that number كان الباور شنو? minus 2x plus 1. So this to the power minus 2x plus 1. Okay. This one is equal to what? This one is equal to and احنا عايزين البيس 3 صح؟ So this is equal to 3 using this rule here. So we can multiply this time that. So 3 to the power 3 multiplied by minus 2x plus 1. Yes. And this is equal to, just you can distribute خلاص بقت product اللي حتكون شنو 3 to the power minus 6x plus 3. Okay. This is what, this is the left hand side. طيب now what about this, the right hand side? This is equal to what? We want to write a base as a multiple of 3. But first of all, 1 over 9, we can write it as 9 to the power minus 1. This we talked about that. صح؟ عندنا إنه a to the power minus 1 المينينج حقها شنو؟ 1 over a. Correct? لو كانت a to the power minus مثلا 3, what's the meaning of that? This is 1 over a cube like that. Yes. أو لو عايزة 1 over a the whole cube. طب the whole cube ال 1 cube ب 1 يبقى الكيوب هيظهر هنا. Clear؟ طيب. So this is 9 to the power minus 1 وكلها this value كل ده can to the power x. So this one we can write it like that. Okay. And which is, this is equal to 9 to the power minus x. But what is what is the 9? A 9 عايزين نكتبها بدلالة 3. So this is equal to 3 square كلها to the power minus x, and this is equal to, using this rule هتكون بتساوي شنو؟ هتساوي 3 to the power 2 في minus x اللي هي ب minus 2x. multiplication ما تخدها بعدينك مثلا 2 minus x. Is it 2 minus x؟ لا. We multiply this number في this number. So minus x في 2 ب minus 2x. يبقى now we can use this rule. ليه؟ لأنه عندي same base. يبقى first if I want to solve وكان البيز is different عندي exponential function أو exponents هنا وهنا, يبقى I should try to write them in the same base في left hand side right hand side. اوكي. يبقى حتكون بقت عندي شنو خلاص الاثنين في نفس البيز. يبقى now the problem بقت حقتي شنو 3 to the power minus 6x plus 3 is equal to what? Is equal to 3 to the power minus 2x. since this is equal to this side here, then the only way out إنه شنو الباورز they are equal. يبقى إذن in this case minus 6x plus 3 should equal to minus 2x. And then خلاص بقت كده linear equation في one unknown. It's easy to solve. Put the x's in one hand or constant in one hand. So take this one this side. هتبقى 6x minus 2x, which is 4x, correct, is equal to 3. And then that is x is equal to 3 over 4. Okay, so it is the solution x بتساوي 3 over 4. If you want to make sure that your solution is correct, take it and substitute it back here. Okay, you should find the same answer as when you substitute the x for history over 4 in the right hand side. المفروض the right hand side or left hand side يجيك نفس الانسر. So is it clear?
Yeah.
Any question?
No.
What about the others?
Yeah,
طيب.
it's clear, doctor.
No,
طيب.
teacher, clear.
Okay. طيب. Now log x to the base b. Okay. And log y to the base b. لو عندي أنا they are equal, both of them. This hand and this hand is equal. We should have that this one is equal to that one's. No other alternative. Okay. We have, what is the meaning of this? B to a certain power. Okay. It is equal to x. Okay. And this one is equal to what? Is equal to b to another base. لو كانت دي n and this is m. Okay. But this will be, this is x and this is equal. صح? The only way out لازم x هتساوي y. صح؟ ما في other alternative. Okay, عشان b to the power n تساوي b to the power m لازم this one is equal to that one. And then معناها this number should equal to that number. So the x should equal to the y. خلاص يبقى we can learn it by heart. أنه what if we have a logarithm to the same base of a certain argument. Okay, so this one should equal to that one. Okay, so x should equal to y. طيب. By the way, ما في هنا constant, ما في here power. Okay, just this one is equal. حتى لو كان في power, لو كانت دي ما في log x square is equal. يبقى في الحالة دي شنو حيكون x square is equal to y. واضح؟ Since في equality وعندي هنا نفس البيز. So here this one is should equal to what inside في اللوغاريتم أو الارجيومنت تحت اللوغاريتم. Now we have logarithm. البيز كم هنا؟ البيز 10 and here logarithm. What's the base? Also 10. Same base. المهم. طيب يبقى شنو؟ يبقى this one should equal to that one if we want to solve. So this should equal to that. يبقى حيكون عندنا شنو؟ حيكون عندنا 5x minus 1 should equal to 4x plus 6. Put the x's in one hand والconstant in one hand. يبقى حيكون عندي 5x minus 4x, which is x, is equal to 6 plus 1, which is 7. So the solution is x بتساوي 7. After you evaluate, تعال عوض back. هيبقى عندك شنو to make sure that your solution is correct. هيبقى عندنا 5 في 7 ب 35 minus 1 يبقى 34. Correct? بيجي left hand side عندنا log 34. طيب what about this the right hand side? Substitute with the 4 هيكون with the 7. 4 في 7 28 زائد 6 34. So is equal to log 34. يبقى my solution is correct. Okay, so always after you get the value or you solve, you can go back and substitute to make sure that your solution is correct. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes, doctor. Clear, clear.
طيب now if we want to solve دايما احنا if we want to solve that means we want to find the value of the unknown. يعني previously here we want to solve that means we want the value of the x. Okay, here we want to solve, we want the value of the x that makes this equation correct. صح? That the left hand side equal to the right hand side. طيب عندي حاجة فيها exponent exponential functions في left وال right. First we try to write it for the same base if it's possible, and then after that I can manage solving. ليه؟ لأن لو بقت نفس البيز as here نفس البيز خلاص this one is equal to that one and then I can solve to get the value of the x. طيب or لو كان عندي logarithm of something is equal to logarithm of something, then we equate just the argument and solve. Now here I want to solve, but the x is up in the exponent. Okay, correct. أنا عشان to get x أول حاجة to solve for x it should be شنو in one hand صح. So I don't need it up في exponent. How can I solve? I can't. طيب and especially that this 413 I cannot write it in term of the base 5 صح. لو كنت بقدر اكتب دي مثلا 5 let's say to a power 20 then هقول الاكس بتساوي 20 and that's it. But this one I cannot write it like that, so I have no other alternative إلا to make x the subject. How can I make x the subject? I want the x to be a subject. أول حاجة to bring it down ما تكون exponent عشان to make it the subject. The only thing I know that what I can take the lin because I know a lin any x to the power a مثلا this is equal to a ln x, or in our example I need the x here في exponent, so ln a to the power x this is equal to x ln a. صح دي الرول بتقول لنا كده صح. So I am thinking انه I want the x to be in one hand عشان ألقى x بتساوي and then get the value, make put all the others in the other hand. Yes. يبقى what comes to my mind انه I have to bring this down and make it as the subject. The only thing I can do take the ln which is the log to the base e او log اللي هو to the base 10 او حتى any base, but usually either take the log to the base 10 or the log to the base e, which this is actually the ln. We write it like the ln. Okay, so here he took the ln, so take the ln. What you do في left hand side don't forget you have to do it في right hand side. طيب يبقى هتبقى المسألة حقتنا شنو take the ln for both hands. هتبقى عندنا ln 5 to the power x is equal to ln 413. Type this, we have the calculator to evaluate it if you want. Type, but what is this? This we can take the x down. So this is going to be equal to x ln 5. Yes. So x ln 5 is equal to ln 413. خلاص what remains? إنه to make x a subject يبقى I have to divide both hand by over ln 5. So over ln 5, and don't forget what you do في left you should do في right. يبقى x بتساوي شنو؟ بتساوي ln 413 على ln 5. You have the calculator, evaluate this alone and evaluate that one. By the way, can I write this one as ln 413 على 15? هل
Yes.
this one is it?
Subtraction.
No, no, no. This is wrong يا جماعة. يعني احنا عندنا ln A over B. This is equal to ln A minus ln B. Okay, this is for the whole ln مش ln up and ln down. You got the difference? ln A over B بتساوي ln A minus ln B. So don't confuse. Okay? So this is ln over ln.
I got you. I got
So this and this, they are not the same. Don't mix it up. Okay? This is not equal to that. This is ln. يعني here you find this alone and then this alone. But here the ln argument this one. And the rule is that ln A over B بتساوي ln A minus ln B. So this one you cannot even write it like that. واضح؟
Yeah,
طيب.
thank you. Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay. طيب يبقى هيكون عندنا just you evaluate ln 413 and ln 5. Evaluate them and divide them over each other to get the value. Okay, clear؟ يبقى لو كان عندنا x في exponent وعايزين نوجد الفاليو حقتها, what you do? You get the ln for both hands. So you take this one down. طيب, I'll go direct to the example. Now, if we want to solve قلنا always that is to find the value of the unknown of the x. طيب, if we have log, okay, in the left hand side and also as well in the right hand side, what should I do? First of all, you bring them all in one hand. Okay, especially that they are for the same base. يعني دايما لما يكون مسائل زي دي المفروض تكون for the same base. طيب, bring them in one hand. يبقى هيبقى عندنا شنو when we take this one there. هيبقى عندي logarithm x minus 5 طبعا the base عندنا هنا 3 plus logarithm x minus 3 also نفس البيس. This is equal to 1. طيب, always if you want to solve after you put them in one hand, the second thing, make it as a one logarithm. Okay, عندي log, احنا الرول بتقول لنا شنو؟ log A plus log B, no matter what is the base هنا, in particular لو عايزاها هنا 3 like this. This is the same as log A في B. Okay, to the base 3. So I can change this one to be one log. Okay, so this is, I can make it one log. So this is equal to log what? A multiplication of what? X minus 5 phi x minus 3. Okay, to the base 3. This is equal to 1. Now, previously, here in this example, كان عندي exponent x عشان ما اتخلص منها من exponent to bring it down بعمل شنو؟ بستعمل logarithmic function عشان to get it down. طيب, here I have the opposite. I have the log. I want to get rid of the log so I can work with the inside. عايز اتخلص من اللوغاريتم. يبقى what should I do? احنا عارفين two operations, two اللوغاريتم والاكسبوننشال function are شنو؟ are the inverse of each other. صح؟ يعني لو كان عندي مثلا e to the power ln a function of f of x, we said that شنو؟ this and this could cancel and this will give me f of x. Clear? لو كان عندي 2 to the power log a function of x but اللوغاريتم نفس البيز ده يكون to the 2, so لأنهم two opposite operations هيديني شنو؟ هيديني f of x. Okay, so I'm going to use this property to manage working with the argument there. Okay, يبقى هعمل شنو؟ بدل ما هي كانت ده البيز يا جماعة كاتباه وانا كبير بقى زي كأنه الاكسبوننت. This is the base صح؟
Supposed to be equal 0. Yeah.
This is here 3. Okay, what we do? We try to find an exponential for both hands, for this hand and this hand. What what البيز اللي I'm going to take it 3. So this يبقى حيكون عندنا شنو إذن 3 to the power what log الارجيومنت حقتنا x minus 5 في x minus 3 to the base what 3. This is should equal to what? To 3 to the power this thing here 1. So I got the exponent for two hand, this and this. Okay, and I know now this will go with that. صح؟ يبقى حيكون في left hand side بقى عندي شنو؟ x minus 5 times x minus 3. This is equal to 3. And now, before we knew how to solve this kind of equations, what we do? هل بقول يا إما x بتساوي 5 أو x بتساوي 3؟ No, لأنه هنا this is not 0. Yes, I have to expand this, put the 3 with them and equate with 0. يبقى هتبقى عندي الإيكويشن شنو؟ x square, which is the x في x. Okay, then x في minus 3 ب minus 3x والminus 5 في x ب minus 5x والminus 5 في last term اللي هو في minus 3 ب 15 صح؟ plus 15. Okay, this is equal to this 3. So minus 3x minus 5x ب x square minus 8x plus 15 minus 3 بتساوي 0, which is x square minus 8x, 15 minus 3, 12. This is equal to 0. So what we do? Either you factorize, if you can't, you couldn't factorize, take the quadratic formula and evaluate. But this is easily, we can factorize it. Two numbers, their multiplication is 12 and their addition is minus 8. They are a 6 with 12, صح? X minus 6, sorry, what 2? X minus 2, this is equal to 0. So that is either the x بتساوي 6 or the x بتساوي 2. لحد هنا clear? Okay. طيب, but I will not stop here. Since I have a logarithmic function, I have to check هل both they will work or no. Okay, we know an argument inside the log. What inside the log, it always should be greater than 0. So if I got a number that is not greater than 0, I have to exclude it, not to use it. I can't work with. صح? Type take the 6 and substitute 6 minus 5, it's okay. 6 minus 3 is okay. So x بتساوي 6, it's fine. Now what about the x بتساوي 2? هتديني 2 minus 5, which is a negative number. This is not greater than 0. It is less than 0. So that is, I cannot take or consider the value x بتساوي 2. It will not solve my problem. Clear? So the solution is x بتساوي 6. Is it clear? Clear?
Yes, clear. It's clear.
طيب. يبقى to solve a problem لو عندي logarithm أتخلص من اللوغاريتم, but before I do that I have to bring all the log in one hand. Use the rules that you had to manage writing all the terms تحت log as one logarithm. Okay, the second step. بعد ما كتبتها كone logarithm to get rid of the log. How to get rid? عندنا two operations اللي هما الانفيرس of each other. عندي اللوغاريتم والثانيه شنو؟ الاكسبوننت. اعين للبيز، البيز كم؟ 3. يبقى هاعمل this term 3 to the power that is equal to 3 to this power. اوكي طيب لما نعمل 3 to this power 3 to this اللوج 3 الاكسبوننت will cancel with the log. هيفضل لي شنو؟ الانسايد اللي هو هيفضل لي x minus 5 في x minus 3 which is this thing here. Okay, يبقى ده الفضل لي and this is the right hand side and now خلاص quadratic equation we solve it as we knew before but when I get the solution I have to make sure هل كل terms أو كل ال values I can use them or في some I have to exclude them because why because inside the logarithm always should be شنو الargument دي اللي احنا قلنا اسمها الargument should be a positive a number that is greater than zero positive number clear okay طيب now modeling with exponential and logarithmic function we want to see application of the exponential function and the logarithmic function okay we have some يعني مثلا sometimes لو كان عندي population growth increase في population from one year to another year we can represent it like that for some in some cases especially if you have مثلا you're making a farm and you brought شوية animals at the beginning and then you give them a good مثلا situation food is there and ما في illness ما في شنو they start growing up exponentially growing الانكريز في الاول بيكون rapidly so you can model it by exponential function في بعض الكيسز anyway احنا we knew انه this is an exponential function why not a number مثلا like 3e to the power مثلا 3t and etc او 4t او whatever صح عندي هنا exponential function دالة أسية اللي هي in the form a to the power x no matter what you multiply here ولا multiply here so it is an exponential function طيب the exponential function أول حاجة طبعا هنا عندي this one is greater than شنو 1 احنا كنا لما بنتكلم عن exponential function in this form if we said that the a is greater than 1 then that is the function شنو is exponentially increasing it is like that ما decreasing ليه لأنه ال a greater than 1 طيب what is e e is a number which is 2.17 and correct irrational number الجزء ده infinite okay but we will find it approximated في الكالكوليتر طيب anyway it is 2 point something so that is it is greater than 1 okay so I can imagine that الفانكشن حقتي حيكون شكلها something like that طبعا بعد ذاك it depends on the value of the y not والk حقتي okay طيب so if k كانت a number that is positive like مثلا لو كانت عندي let's say هنا 2e to the power 2t أو to half t or whatever again this is حيكون في شنو؟ حيكون في exponential growth okay لأنه النمبر اللي هنا ده is going to be greater than 1 e to the power half still is greater than 1 صح؟ yes لأنه e هو عبارة عن 2 وحاجة إذا كان جذر واحد اللي هو بيخط بالواحد اوكي يبقى لما كانت 2 حتطلع شنو؟ أكيد clear؟ طيب anyway إذا كان عندنا ال k is greater than 0 this number is greater than 0 بيكون عندي exponential increase like this one أما لو كانت ال k is negative less than 0 هيحصل شنو؟ هيبقى عندي the function will be decreasing like that دي 200 and it will come nearer to 0 but it never cross the x-axis as we saw before يبقى always the function in this form y بتساوي y not e to the power k of t it is a kind of an exponential function it is increasing 200 لو كانت k greater than 0 يبقى that is the function is increasing function okay أما لو كانت k is less than 0 ليه حتبقى decreasing function لو كانت less than 0 يعني مثلا لو كان عندنا 2 e to the power minus 1 اوكي minus 1 في t اللي هي minus t احنا قلنا what is the meaning of this الماينس sign الجزء ده I can write it as what? This is as 2 في this is لأنه في الماينس sign اللي هي 1 over e to the power t. So حيكون عندي as a fraction. خليك من ال 2 point something. لو كأنه 1 over 2 t صح؟ اللي هو half صح؟ اللي هي زي 1 over 2. يمكن you can write it like that. Correct? Anyway, so it's going to be ال a حقتنا is going to be less than 1. Okay? في حالة يكون عندي a negative value k less than 0 يبقى the function is going to be شنو؟ It's going to be decreasing function. طيب another thing he mentioned here, we knew that if we have base, we can change the base to another base. كيف؟ طيب لو كانت عندي الفانكشن حقتي base اللي هو البيز b to any exponent t, okay, we know that في two operations they are the inverse of each other اللي هي شنو؟ ال e والlin. اللin اللي هي long a log to the base e. So if I apply this in that function as if I did nothing, their function will remain the same. So I can apply this one here. يبقى هتبقى الفانكشن حقتي شنو؟ هتبقى عندنا e ln شنو؟ b to the power t. And we know that when this cancel, this is equal b to the power t. But here I wrote this one البيز أخدته شنو؟ أخدته e. So if I have a function and I want to change and it is exponential function and I want to change the base, can I do that? Yes, it's like that. عايزه اللي to base عايزه to base e خلاص يبقى هاخد ال e واللين. اوكي طيب لو كنت عايزه اللي base 10 كانت هتكون شنو؟ 10 log طبعا لما نكتب log psi معناها البيس 10 for what? for b to the power t. اوكي طيب or لو كان عايزاه لي base 2 كان هيكون هنا 2 وهنا هيكون هنا 2 and etc. Okay, clear how you can change the base? Okay, let's see some examples. Now, the population of Virginia was 7.1 million in the year 2000 and grew to 8 million by 2010. يعني within 10 years حصل increase في population from 7.1 into 8. Write a model of the farm if يعني هو مفروض ادانا كأنه this population here we can represent it or we can model it by the exponential function يعني في exponential increasing. Okay, he told us that this population you can model it like that. The population after any time t is the initial population في e raised to kt. Okay, that is, if you know initially how much were your population, okay, then you can find then after any number of years. يعني لو كان في سنة مثلا 1990 كان that population. I need it after 20 years. If you have the K and the T, you are going to substitute here and then immediately you can find the population at the time you need. Okay. He told us that this we can model it by this exponential function where p not represent the initial population always. This is the something that the initial. Why it is the initial? Let's assume لو كانت دي الفانكشن حقتنا. When you substitute t بتساوي 0, what you will have? لو خدتنا t بتساوي 0 هيكون عندي p at time t بتساوي 0 صح لأنه أنا هاخد هنا 0. So this is equal to p naught okay e at t ب0 t 0 في any number ب0 type times e to the power 0 or any number to the power 0 is equal to what? Is equal to 1 صح? So this the right hand side is going to be equal to p naught. So that means the population when لما time بيساوي 0 that means initially. So always this P naught is the initial population that you are going to start with. Okay, at certain year هتحسبها كأنها when t بتساوي 0. طيب represent the initial population and t represent the number of years since 2000. طيب يعني since يعني انت you will start from سنة شنو 2000. that is at the beginning لما t بتساوي 0 200 في سنة 2000. طيب اوكي. طيب عايز شنو؟ عايز الفانكشن. So he can use it to find the population after any time. طيب في this function في two unknowns. You have to find the p naught and you have to find the k. If you find both of them then خلاص هتبقى عندك function p of t. Okay, let's assume مثلا قول طلعت لي انه whatever 7.1 million اللي هو this is the initial population. طيب في e let's say to any number k في t يعني let's say 0.0 مثلا 0.5 t for instance. Okay, if this is the thing, طيب if I need the population after 3 years, what should I do? هنا substitute T3 and do the calculation, you can get the population. After 17 years, you put here, you're going to find the how much the population are going to be. So if we have, this is the exponential function, عندنا دايما two unknowns. لازم أعرف initial population ولازم أعرف this constant اللي هو constant k. Okay. طيب. So how we get that? We use the information that we have been given. طيب at the beginning كان population في سنة 2000 7.1. That is, this is the P naught because I can consider this year to be the year that I'm going to start with. يبقى حيكون عندنا شنو؟ حيكون عندنا بدل ال P naught هاخد شنو؟ ال initial population 7.1 million. No need to put the zeros. خلاص هتعامل معاها خلاص 7.1 معناها 7.1 million. طيب في E to the power K في T. Okay, so في T this is. طيب أنا عندي هنا another information. حصل grow وصل عدد السكان بقت 8 million in 2010. So the time from 2000 to 2010, it's just 10 years. So instead of the T, I can substitute 10. Okay. And after 10 years, the population from 701, they became 8 million. So 8. So that is an 8 بتساوي 7.1 times e to the power 10k. Okay. Now I can get the k. صح؟ لأنه عندي equation فيها one unknown. Okay. طيب this unknown, it is where? It is in the exponent. Yes. So I want to solve for k. First of all, I leave this one in one hand. يبقى حيكون عندي e to the power 10k is equal to 8 على 7.1. Now what I do? Take the ln for both hands. Yes, because I need the value of the k, but k it is where? It is up in the exponent, correct? So to have it as a subject, I have to find a way to take it down. So I take a ln for both لأنه why ln؟ لأنه هنا عندي e. خلاص؟ and I know ln وال e they are opposite operation, they will cancel each other. Okay, so the left hand side ln 8 over 7.1. Okay, بيساوي what? بيساوي ln e to the power 10k. Okay, so the answer is this here for the right hand side. This is 10k. Okay, if you want even you can take it here لأنه lean this one you can take it down or lean E by 1. Okay طيب so anyway 10k بتساوي lean 8 على 7.1. okay so this you can use the calculator to find it. okay بيساوي 10k I need the 1k so I divide both hands over 10 هنا over 10 and here over 10 so you got your k. يبقى I knew the k, it is calculated which is this value here. يبقى now what is my equation؟ يبقى my equation the population after any years from the starting year اللي هو سنة 2000 okay where the population the initial population I start with كان 7.1 okay اللي هو حيكون عندي في E to the power عندنا الكي بكم طلعناها ب 0.0119 then T. So if I need it after 15 years, I just substitute here 15 and I can find the population after 15 years, how much they will be. Okay, and should be more طبعا than any by anyhow or any means from the 7.1. Why? Because في growth and it's clear في growth لأنه E والpower هنا it is positive number. Clear؟ طيب طيب if he said that this was in year 2000, how much the population will be in the year 2020? What should I do? Am I going to substitute here by 2020 هعوض محل التي ب 2020 ولا هعوض بشنو؟ What
How
I'm going
many
to say?
years?
How many
Like
years?
from 20
For
years.
yeah, so it is 20 years. If the t هتكون ب 20, you're going to substitute with the 20. Okay? And then make the calculation. اللي هو حيكون 7.1 في E to the power 0.0119 this number multiplied by 20. So just first multiply this time that, okay, and then E to this new number and the answer اللي بيجيك بعدك هضربه في 7.1 and then you will find the population at that time and etc. Clear؟ واضح؟
Yes.
Yes, clear.
Okay. طيب. Now, this is an example. Okay. If we have برضو this is an exponential function. Okay. And actually it is in the form same like that. P naught E raised to the power K phi T. Okay. But now here he need to do one thing that he want to write the function, same function using the exponent E. So how he can do that? بدل ما يكون sorry البيز E بدل البيز 0.5. Okay. So we know that this is اللي هي كانت المسألة حقتنا 400 times 0.5 to the power 0.03 T. طيب احنا عارفين شنو عندنا like before اللي هو I can use E to the power ln صح لانه as if I زي لما اقول لك multiply by 2 and divide over 2 so as if you multiplied by 1 صح لما نعمل الاوبريشن والانفيرس حقها. So this one I can write it as this is equal to 400 nothing changed صح لما نكتبها E to the power ln okay what 0.5 to the power 0.03 T. So I changed nothing لأنه عارفة أنا this one okay اللي هو this part اللي هو عبارة عن just ال 0.5 to the power 0.03 T. Okay, so now what is this? This is equal to 400 as it is, correct? Then we have الباور اللي هو E ln 0.5 الباور كان عندي شنو 0.03 T fill in something okay and this is the power I can take a power where down here by the rule صح؟ نحن عندنا كان الرول أخدها لك تاني ln x to the power p. This is we can write it as p ln x. We had it before صح ولا لا؟ Yes. يبقى this one I can write it like 400 e okay 0.03 t مضروبة في شنو؟ ln 0.5. Yes معاي؟ Okay. So this is equal to what we do. Ln 0.5 I have the calculator I can evaluate it and then يعني كأنه عندي a number في t في a number. So just we multiply this number times a t. هخلي t زي ما هي. So this is we can write it as 400 e اللي هي 0.03 في ln 0.5. Okay, so this one and then times the t. Using the calculator we evaluate this number اللي هو he evaluated وطلع له this value. So this is the function دي is equivalent to this function but خديناها in terms of another base. Okay, as and this we knew before. عرفنا من بدري إنه لو كان عندي base I can write the function in terms of another base. صح ولا لا؟ Any other base in particular on the natural number e. أخذنا الكلام ده وين؟ We did it here. Yes? Clear? واضح؟ طيب lastly if we have a function in this form this is we call it logistic growth function and this kind of function بدل ما بكون عندنا كان يعني احنا دايما الاكسبوننشال function if you draw it احنا قلنا لو كان في growth it will be something like that is passing through the point 0 1 and etc. This kind of function if you draw it you will find that there is a limiting factor that is the number c. This function can never growth like that to infinity but it goes like this and here it's like that. It's going to be like that. Okay. Why is that? Because if this is the function, okay, now always if we have something over something, when this one get bigger, this will be less. But when this gets smaller, then this value will increase. صح؟ طيب أول حاجة طبعا دي كانت a decreasing function صح لأنه الأس بالناقص. So this can get small, 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 small. What is the smaller number that this function can attain? أنا عايزة ده يكون the smallest value. What is this smallest value? The smallest value as a time go to infinity, this is going to be شنو? It will be zero. صح النمبر ده هيبقى zero. صح؟ يعني مثلا لو كان عندنا خلينا اقول لك خلينا اخذ لك كاكزامبل لو كان عندنا مثلا 2 to the power 4 اوكي لو خدت الماينس sign to the power minus 4 actually this is عبارة عن شنو 1 over 2 to the power 4 yes which is 1 over 2 to the power 16 yes sorry to the power 4 يعني to the power 4 which 1 over 16 صح طيب يبقى لانه ده ماينس بقى ده الريسيبروكال correct طيب now what if I increase the power لو عملتها 2 to the power minus 8 so this is going to be 1 over 2 to the power 8 صح اللي هي بتساوي 1 over 16 في 16 correct so the number is going to be smaller yes لو كانت 2 to the power minus 2 this is equal to 1 over 2 to the power 2 this is 1 over 4 so this is quarter okay this is 1 over 16 this is 1 over 265 So it will be, you know, a number will be very small, very small. So this will attain in a smaller value when this t goes to infinity. Okay, so when this t goes to infinity يعني شوف الأس بقى شنو حاجة كده goes to infinity يبقى النمبر ده will reach what will reach تقريبا zero. So anyway, if this is zero, so this is going to be equal to 1. So this is going to be the biggest. طبعا لما نقسم على واحد خلاص أكبر، لكن لو قسمت على مثلا 2 the number will be smaller صح؟ يعني مثلا عندي خلينا أقول لك شنو 16 لما نقسمها على 8. طيب ال 16 لما نقسمها على 4، 16 لما نقسمها على 2، 16 لما نقسمها على 1. which is the biggest؟ this one صح؟ هنا بكم؟ ب 8، هنا بكم؟ ب 4، here بكم؟ ب but here it is 16 صح؟ So when you divide over something smaller, this is going to be big. But the biggest is what? When here this is 1. لما ده 1 هتبقى شنو؟ هتبقى C. So the value will get bigger as t goes to infinity, and the maximum value كان 10 will approach لأنه عمري ما حصل الانفينيتي will approach C. يبقى لما يكون هنا في الفاليو C your function will be like that. يعني ده اللاين ده هيكون asymptote للفانكشن حقك عمرها ما هتقطعه. It will become nearer and nearer and nearer to that value but never cross it. And this kind of functions بيسموها there is a logistic growth. Okay. والlimiting value حقتنا هي شنو؟ هي C will never exceed that value C. Here if we have this function logistic function, if you graph it you're going to find something like that. Okay, and a limiting value is 42.6. So you see it's approaching the 40, 41, 42 somewhere here, but it never exceeded. The function will go like that. Whenever هنا الvalue حقتك of t increase, this will approach the number 42.6. Okay, and this type of functions we call it the logistic function. Is it clear? Do you have any other question?
Yes.
Any question?
Thank
No,
you,
that
teacher.
Okay. So we stop here and